Good morning, students. How you all doing? Coming to the another disease is pneumonia. This is one more here dangerous disease that is caused by a bacteria again. And the causative here bacteria for this pneumonia here it includes two important organisms are there. One is Streptococcus pneumoniae is the name of the bacteria. Thereafter, Haemophilus influenza is one more important here organism that causes this pneumonia. So here the point to be noted is, it is not caused by a single organism, it is caused by the two different types of organisms. One it includes here Streptococcus pneumoniae, whereas the second one is known as Haemophilus influenza. Then how it is get transmitted? Here is a point. The mode of transmission here it includes one thing, the droplet infection or aerosols. Thereafter the another type of mode of transmission here it is the person those who used the glasses or the towels, and the same thing is get used by the other healthy person also, then the disease is get transmitted, is a one more here mode of transmission. So let us see now here how it takes place. And first of all, let us assume here that he is a pneumonia patient. So when he sneezes, when he cough, or when he speak, in all these conditions, droplets of saliva here will rise, spread into the air, and these are known as droplets. When these droplets or get fall on any other healthy person, or if he inhales, if they directly falls on a healthy person, definitely this disease get transmitted. So such a kind of transmission is known as droplet infection. So instead of droplets directly falling on these here, the healthy person, if they're all raised into the air, within the air there will be some small particles will be on which here these bacteria which settles, and they are known as aerosols. And when these aerosols are get inhaled by a healthy person that consists of these bacteria, then these bacteria will reach to the here healthy body, then it causes the infections in the healthy person also, and that is known as aerosols. Is another type of here mode of infection. As I said here, one more important thing, the glass or the utensils that are all used by the healthy person here, and they are all already get used by a here the sick person. In such a cases it will be get transmitted. Thereafter the utensils, different kind of here the instruments or household here, the things like vessels, glasses and all these things, towels, all these things when they are all used by the infected person, without disinfecting these two, the glasses as well as the utensils, if a healthy person use all these things, definitely this disease causing pathogen will get transferred to the healthy one also. This is one more important here, the mode of transmission. Thereafter, what is the pathway of this? Once this pathogen is entered, how it get transmitted? Here is an important part. Once this pathogen is enter into the nose or a mouth, initially it reaches to the respiratory tract of a human being. From the respiratory tract, it enter into the alveolus. Thereafter, the fluid will be accumulated in the alveoli sac. It makes the alveoli here in obstruction of exchange of the gases. I do give you the detailed information regarding this. Once you see this, in this case, you do have a respiratory tract like this. So this pathogen it enters into the respiratory tract first. Here the respiratory tract it enters first. Then the respiratory here tract is divided into bronchi and bronchioles, that you know very well. Then the pathogen it enters into your lungs. And you know that respiratory system has got the functional and structural unit that we call it as alveoli. Finally, from this here the bacteria it enter into the alveolus. Then alveolus is the structural and functional unit of the respiratory system. Then finally here the bacteria it enters. Then the alveoli are highly vascular. That means they're all here get supplied with the blood vessels. Highly vascular, and this is a blood vessel. And this you know very well here, alveoli. Then in the respiration topic we detailedly studied where does the exchange of the gases it takes place. The alveoli is the site where the exchange of the gases it takes place, and the oxygen is diffuses into the blood at this area, and the carbon dioxide again diffuses into the alveoli at this area itself. Now the point is, whenever the person is suffering from the pneumonia, the bacteria it infects the alveoli first thing. Thereafter this alveoli is filled with a fluid. It is completely filled with a fluid. When it is filled with a fluid, it majorly obstructs the exchange of the gases. So the patient he complains that severe breathing problems. And the contemporary here, corona also affect the same your respiratory system, and it develops the pneumonia. Because of the breathing problem only the people are dying nowadays. So this is the one thing. So this is the way how it enters and how it obstructs the breathing process, and finally it leads to the death of the person. So this is the way how here it travels. Thereafter here, what are all the characteristic symptoms? Here as I said, next level it goes to the alveoli, infects the alveoli. Thereafter it goes to here, the alveoli is get filled with a fluid. Thereafter here, severe breathing problem it arises because of filling the alveoli with a fluid. Here these are all the things. Now what are all the symptoms of this disease? Thereafter the incubation period, let us see now here in a detailed way. And coming to this one, the symptoms. After the infection is happened, this pathogen takes near about 1 to 3 days. You keep it in the mind that earlier disease I explained, that is a typhoid. The incubation period for the typhoid is 1 to 3 weeks. Here the incubation period for the pneumonia is 1 to 3 days. You have to remember this point. And thereafter it develops certain kind of symptoms, so which are specific to this pneumonia. So the person who is suffering from the pneumonia suffer from here the fever, headache, chilly sensation, and thereafter the cough. So these are all the 4 important type of the symptoms that are all exhibited by the victim. Along with that, in the severe cases, it is an important point. Here the victim, his lips as well as his fingernails get turned into here bluish color from the gray. From this gray color, his lips as well as the nails get turns into bluish color. In the severe cases it happens. This is an important characteristic feature of here the pneumonia. So these are all. Here he will get suffer from the fever. As I said, chills, cough and headache are very common symptoms of this pneumonia. And as I said earlier in the case, here the person will suffer a lot with a breathing problems also. So these are all the symptoms. Then what about here the prevention for this or the treatment? So prevention is here, you are safeguarding yourself from the droplets of an infection person, and from here the aerosols, contaminated air, polluted air, and you have to make sure that if a person is suffering from this pneumonia, isolation him, and the things that are all used by this patient is get disinfectant before you use, so that you will be get prevented from these diseases. Then what about here the treatment? If you get already the disease, what are the treatments that are available to us? Even in this case, we do use some of the antibiotics in order to treat such a kind of here disease. It includes one, streptomycin is an antibiotic. See this one, streptomycin is one thing. Ampicillin as well as penicillin. Ampicillin is one more antibiotic, and penicillin is here another antibiotic. By using these 3 different types of antibiotics by the prescription of any physician, so that we can treat to this disease like pneumonia.